Hello friends, welcome to my channel PC Geo Kimberlite. Today we are going to see an important topic from structural geology, SYBSc syllabus, folds. And in that folds, we are going to make a part, and in that second part, geometrical classification of fold. We are going to see today a geometrical classification of fold as per the new UGC syllabus 2020-2021. I am Dr. Sajid Hundekar, Associate Professor and Head Department of Geology. Welcomes you on my channel. Yes, we'll start a geometrical classification of folds. Now, classification of fold has been divided into five criteria. First one, general criteria, classification of fold on general basis. Second one, morphological basis. Third one, geometrical classification. Fifth one, spatial, and last one is genetical classification. So these are there, but now in this videos, initially I am going to prepare a geometrical and genetical, and after that I am going to prepare a different videos on general classification. Now geometrical classification, it is based on 10 different parameters are there. First base is their sense of curvature. Whatever we have, the fold curvature is there. On the basis of the curvature, we have the folds are there. Second one, direction of youngling, that is a facing related to sense of fold closure. That is the second one. Third one, symmetry of fold. Fourth one parameter, the nature of the hinge line. That is a very important one. Fifth one, plunge of the fold axis. Sixth one, the interlimb angle. Seventh one, the thickness of the beds. And eighth one, the orientation of the axial plane. And the number nine, the shape of the hinge. And the last one, miscellaneous, means those which fold which are not going to fit into this category, they ultimately we are going to put into the miscellaneous fold. This is what we have. Uh, Classification is given one of the type, so that we are going to see the latter part. On this basis parameter, what type of fold we are going to see today? One is antiform, a fold that is a concave downward, antiform, concave downward. The next one is synform. There is a spelling mistake. SY should be there. Synform, a fold that is a concave upward is there. Then neutral fold, a fold that closes sidewise, and a dome is an antiform where bedding deeps away from the center point. From the center point, they are radiating in the different. The dome is there, so from the center point, the the slope will be there on the different directions. Then the basin, there will be a synform where bedding dips towards the center point. So that will be there. So antiform, synform, neutral fold, dome, and basin. So one by one, we'll see now these type of fold which are there comes under the sense of curvature of antiform. A fold which is a convex upward. You can see the first diagram here in this. It is a convex upward. The term anti means opposite. The limbs are dipping in the opposite, and in which the stratigraphic top youngling facing direction is known when we know the facing direction properly known. The anticline, the bed young at away from the core, means younger beds at the periphery. At the center we have the older formation, that is the antiform. So the both diagram will have the same one. The next one, synform, the limbs deeping each other. So first one, away is there, anti opposite is there, syn is towards each other. A fold which is convex downward. Yes, this is the convex downward. The term syncline is when the stratigraphic top or youngling facing direction is known. When we know the deep directions, whatever the slope directions of that particular limbs we know stratigraphically, then it is called as synform. Otherwise, it is simply called as syncline. In a syncline, the bed young is there here in this antiform and synform. We are knowing the stratigraphic top and their youngling direction. That is the facing direction we know. Then only we call them as antiform and Synform. Come to the third one, neutral fold. What is a neutral fold? A fold that closes sidewise. You can see the fold closes sidewise. That is the neutral fold. Come to the next one, the dome and basin. The first one we are going to see in that dome. What is a dome? It is the center part is elevated, and from there all the slope is in the different direction. So here we have given the highest point. The older will be at the center, they will center, and it is younger formation at the periphery. It is sloping. So here I get this one. If you make the section over here, in that section you can get this particular cross section. The oldest will be at the center, and at the periphery we have the younger one. So the same one from the top, if you make out, the highest point will be here and sloping in the all different directions. So that will be there in that particular point we are given. A name indicates that dome is roughly symmetrical fold where bed deeps in all direction, more or less actually from a point. From a point they are deeping in the opposite on the towards the periphery. That is a dome. It can be defined an anticlinal uplift. Yes, whatever we have the anticline, it is anticlinal uplift will be called. Domes are very suitable structure for accumulation and preservation of oil and gas in the earth crust. For this, domes are very important one. Next one is the basin. It is exactly reverse of the basin. Like a domes are like a anticline and basins are like a syncline. Yes, it is just opposite structure that of the dome. Here the deeps are all towards the center point. Yes, slope is toward the center point. Yes, you can see the center point. Slope is given towards the center point. If you take the cross section, limbs are dipping towards the center point. So you can see the depression. This is the elevated portion from all sides. The deep is towards the center. So that is the we have the basin. So it can be defined as a synclinal depression with no distinct trend. Domes and basin exhibit circular and elliptical outcrop on a level ground. That will be a circular one or elliptical one. Domes, basin are collectively called as a periclinal structure. Periclinal structures. Remember this term now. Most of them they might be don't know that about this one. So now the second parameter, direction of youngling, that is facing, related to sense of fold closure. So here we have anticline, syncline, synformal anticline, antiformal syncline, anticlinorium and synclinorium. So basically anticline and syncline. So whatever we have the types, anticline, syncline, synformal anticline, antiformal syncline, anticlinorium and synclinorium. So here basically we have 6 forms. One by one we'll see now. Anticlinorium. So anticline. Anti means opposite. Cline means inclination. Limbs are dipping opposite from the axial plane. So here in this diagram, you can see here, this is what we have, the axial plane. From that axial plane, limbs are dipping in the opposite direction. Yes, and in this what is happening? Older formation at the center and periphery we have the youngest. And what is this fold? Fold is upward arching. This is upward arching, or it is simply called as convex upward. It is a convex upward, limbs deeping in the opposite direction, maybe with the same angle or it may be with the different angle. Yes, so that will be there. So here in this particular diagram, the limbs are deeping with the same angle, with the same direction they have been sloping. Axial plane may, here we have shown you vertical. In the next slide, we are going to see all the 3 types: vertical, incline, and horizontal. So there are 3 possibilities are there: vertical, incline, and horizontal. Axial plane is a planar, means straight line, or it may be a curvature. So both will nature will be there. Older rock should be at the center and younger formation at the periphery. These are the important point regarding the anticline. Anticline, limbs are dipping in the opposite direction. That is first point. Second one, convex upward, or it is upward arching. Yes, it is upward arching. Limbs are dipping opposite from the axial plane. Next point, older formation at the center, younger formation at the periphery. Axial plane is vertical, incline, horizontal. Axial plane may be planar or curviplanar. So if these points are there, then that fold will be called your anticline. Yes, you can see in this. Now we are earlier we have seen the vertical plane. Now I can see here it is horizontal. Limbs are dipping opposite. Axial plane is inclined. It is curvilinear. Now I can see the photographs. This is anticline, very clear photograph. This is also anticline, and this is the block diagram. So that is the anticline. This is a very, very important one. 100% any examiner is there, it will be going to ask you a question about the anticline or syncline. The next fold, we are going to see the syncline. Syn means limbs are dipping towards each other. Syncline, limbs are dipping towards it. It is a downward arching. The first point, it is a downward arching. Or second point, concave upward. It is a concave upward. The second point, limbs are dipping towards the axial plane. This is axial plane. So limbs are dipping towards the axial plane. Third point, youngest formation at the center and oldest formation at the periphery. Oldest formation at the periphery. Axial plane, next point, axial plane is vertical, it is inclined, it may be horizontal. That is the next point. Next point, axial plane is straight line or it is a curvilinear. So same will be here also. So the same one, only thing is the reverse point is there as compared to the anticline. The syncline, limbs are dipping towards each other. It is a downward arching or it is the concave upward. Next one, axial plane incline, vertical, horizontal. Next one, it is a planar or curvilinear. Then the next one, older formation at the periphery, younger formation at the center. So anticline and syncline. So here I can see I have shown now in this all four diagrams. Axial plane is vertical, limbs are dipping towards each other. You can see axial plane vertical, horizontal, limbs are dipping towards each other. Axial plane is inclined, limbs are dipping towards each other. Axial plane is curvilinear, and this is the block diagram showing the axial plane is vertical. So that is the syncline, anticline and syncline. Now see this interesting one, synformal anticline. Now here it is, the two words syncline and anticline both are coming together. A syncline which the core contain the stratigraphically older rock. Syncline, whenever we are going to make out the center part, it will be the younger one. But in this case, what is happening? A syncline in which the core contain stratigraphically older rocks. It is an inverted form of an anticline. When we are going to see the center part is the older rock, that is the anticline which is there, it has been reversed over here. It is completely inverted. It is the inverted form of anticline, then it is called as synformal anticline. Whereas the next one, antiformal syncline, means it is anticline. But what is happening? In the center, it should be what is happening? The older formation, if it is anticline is there. But now what is happening? At the center, we have the younger formation. So anticline fold in which the core contain the younger one. If anticline is there, center will be the oldest. But now here, it is the inverted form of the syncline. So both are the reverse one. Synformal anticline and antiformal syncline. Come to the next one, anticlinorium and syncline. 100% examiner going to ask you this question, whether 1 marks will be there or it will be for 5 marks. Anticline, syncline, anticlinorium, synclinorium. So here, what is the anticlinorium? It is a large fold. Anticline or syncline, they are a very large fold, and this large fold is refolded. It is going to give you secondary folding, a smaller fold. This is the what we have, the syncline. This is the anticline. But now what is happening? Refolding has been seen now in anticline and syncline. So that is the, we have a major fold which has been refolded, whether it is anticline or it is incline, then it is called as anticlinorium and synclinorium. It will be thousands of kilometers together, yes, hundreds of kilometers together. We are going to have the anticline and syncline, which will be refolded into secondary fold. Then that will be called as anticlinorium and synclinorium. Anticlinorium same. In the center, older formation. Limbs are dipping in the opposite direction. Axial plane is vertical, that is there, but now it is a refolded, so there will be the secondary axial planes will be there in that minor fold. So here we have shown you in this particular diagram all this axial plane which are there, that has been shown. The third part, the third parameter, the symmetry of a fold. simple one in the symmetry, symmetrical fold and asymmetrical fold. So here in this category we have the two folds. Symmetrical fold where the axial plane is vertical, anticline, or a syncline where axial plane is vertical and the limbs are dipping on the opposite side. Due to this imaginary axial plane, the limbs are dipping on the opposite side with the same angle. Say here we have shown you anticline, and this is imaginary anticline. Whatever we have, the axial plane is there, it is imaginary plane. You have to imagine the plane, and with this imagined plane, the horizontal imagined plane can see now the whatever angle theta 1 or theta 2, both side it is the same. Then if this is there, then it is the symmetrical fold. But now this is the anticline is there, so it is called as symmetrical anticline fold. When there is a syncline is there, then it is a symmetrical syncline. The rest one, the definitions of anticline and syncline will remain same like what we have here in this combination anticline, syncline. And if you may draw this one, axial plane, we'll find out the limbs are dipping with the same angle. Now I can see the symmetrical one. If you draw a vertical line over here, you can find out limbs are dipping in the opposite. This is the best diagram to draw and explain the about the symmetrical fold. Yes, here we have the symmetrical fold we are shown, anticlines. This is anticline, this is syncline. This is again symmetrical, what we are going to show you, the fold. The next one, asymmetrical fold. Means the actual plane is inclined. It is not vertical, it is inclined. And the limbs which are there on the both sides, which are deeping, they are deeping with a different angle. Say example, Q1 will be deeping with a 30 degree, whereas Q2 may be the deeping with a 40 degree. So angle is a differing. So it may be anticline or syncline. Then it is called as asymmetrical anticline fold or asymmetrical syncline fold. So these are the asymmetrical fold. Limbs are deeping in the opposite direction. Because of this, the forces which are applied, one side the force will be major, so that side will be compressed more, so that will be the steep side will be there. So here you can see now, this is the base diagram I drawn, axial plane which are drawn, the limb now can see asymmetrical one. Yes, here again we have the asymmetrical one, here again asymmetrical fold. So symmetrical and asymmetrical based on the symmetry we have done. Now the next criteria number 4 is the nature of the hinge line. On the basis of the hinge line, we have cylindrical fold, non-cylindrical fold, and sheet folds. So there are the three types of folds are there. One by one we'll see now. Cylindrical folds, the generated by moving line parallel to the itself. In other words, folds with a straight hinge line. Yes, you can fold with a straight hinge line will be a straight one. Then it is called as cylindrical fold. Non-cylindrical fold cannot generated by moving a line parallel to itself, or in other words, fold with curve hinge line. Here hinge line is curvy in nature. Then it is the non-cylindrical fold. Again we'll see a cylindrical one I shown. This is a straight line. This is a cylindrical. When it is a curvy linear one, then it is a non-cylindrical fold. This is the simplest way to assume this particular fold. The next one, sheet. The third type which is there in that, the sheet folds. The sheet folds are strongly a non-cylindrical fold. Close at one end. This is close at one end, and the other end they are promulgating now. You can see how they are going to form. The shear strain is there. How it is propagated slowly, it is come down, and ultimately it is going to give you the shear strain. Yes, at the end, and one end will be there, other end fold hinge line curve within the axial surface occur normally in shear zone. So this will be curvy linear. Say how it is there, curvy linear and completely curved together. So that is going to form at a sheet folds. So here we have cylindrical, non-cylindrical, and sheet folds. Yes, again this is a sheet fold. Again I have given you the diagram of a sheet fold, how it will be there. It is look like as a doubly plunging fold like that, the structure sheet folding is there. Next, fifth parameter, the plunge of its fold axis. The plunge of its fold axis, horizontal fold, vertical fold, and inclined fold. All these three types will be there in this particular criteria. A fold where the axis is vertical is where we have the axis is vertical, where we are going to make out axis fold is a vertical, axis face is a horizontal, vertical. This is there. This is a vertical one. Here we have the horizontal one, and here it is the incline. So all the three possibilities which are there, we have been shown. Plunging fold which are there, that is the whatever this will be there, it is going to make the axis of the fold is going to make an angle with this. So that is the axis of the fold makes an angle with the horizontal. Say this is a fold axis and it makes an angle 10 degree, 20 degree, whichever the thing is there. So that will be the plunging fold. So here you can see the plunging will be here, non-plunging will be here. So that has been shown now, plunging and non-plunging. So this is the plunging. You can see how they have been going to make out. The diagrams will be drawn in this fashion. This is the number 6. It is an important one. Interleam angle, whatever the leam angle is there. Michael Foote classification based on interleam angle hinge area. Sub horizontal fold. When you're going to make out the sub horizontal fold, where the plunge is between 0 degree to 10 degree. Gentle plunging fold will be there, then the plunge is 10 to 30 degree. Moderate plunging fold will be there between the plunge between 30 to 60 degree. Steeply plunging fold is there, angle between 60 degree to 80 degree. And sub vertical fold, the plunge is 80 to 90. 0 to 10, 10 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 80, 80 to 90. Sub horizontal fold, gently plunging fold, moderately plunging fold, steeply plunging fold, and sub vertical fold. And ultimately, about 90% we have the vertical fold will be there. So again, the same degree where we are going to make out, and what will be the name? 0 degree horizontal we called as the recommend fold, or plunge hinge will be there, horizontal fold. 10 to 30 to 0 1 to 10 degree sub horizontal. Again, this will be again recommend one. Here also the horizontal one. 10 to 30 degree, it will be gentle incline fold or gently plunging fold. 30 to 60 degree, it is a moderately inclined fold or moderately plunging fold. 60 to 80 degree, it is called as sleep. Then steep it is there. There is a mistake is there. I have instead of T, I have in type S. L it is type. Steeply inclined fold, steeply plunging fold. 80 to 89 degree subvertical upright fold or vertical fold. And above 90 degree, it is a vertical. It is called as upright fold or a vertical fold. Number 6 parameter, the interleam angle. The interleam angle is an indicator of the tightness, how much the fold is tight together. The first one, gentle fold, where the angle is 180 degree to 120 degree. Then this type of fold is called as gentle folds. Then the next one, 120 degree to 70 degree. You can see this is the open fold. Then the next one, 70 to 30 degree. Now compressing is more. It is a close fold. Then 30 degree to 0 degree. Yes, 0 to 30, 0 to 30 degree. That will be called as tight one, or 0 to 5. It will be called as isoclinal fold. So 180 to 120 gentle fold. Then 120 to 70 degree. It is called as open fold. 70 to 30 degree tight fold, and 30 to close fold, 30 70 to 30, and 30 degree to 0 degree, it is a tight fold. And in that 0 to 5 degree which is there, it is isoclinal. Completely the fold will be turn it out and it is running parallel to the same axis. So this is the interleam angle which is there. Again, this same one we have put it into the diagram, whether you can show into this one or show into that particular, whichever table you can make out, draw it out and get the marks. Number 7 parameter, the thickness of the bed. Now in this we have around 7 folds are there: parallel fold, concentric fold, stigmatic fold, similar fold, disharmonic fold, and supratenuous fold. Parallel folds, concentric fold, stigmatic folds, similar folds, disharmonic fold, and supratenuous fold. This is based on the thickness. Now I can see this first one, open, parallel, or it is called as concentric. Here lines which are there, they are concentric. If you see, if you start from the surface, if you go down, Here what is happening? It is the anticline. Yes, the what we have, the crust is part is there. As you go down and down, what is happening? Curvature go on increasing, increasing, sharp. It is changed, and you can see instead of crust now we are going to get the trough. It has been transformed into some other one. Or you can see here, here we have the trough. As you go down, trough will change, and you go, the sharp edges are there, it has become the rounded one. So that will going to form. That is, the fold pattern is going to change as you go on the deeper side. In this type of fold, form and shape of the bedding plane varies. The thickness of the bed remain more or less constant. You can see there is no change anywhere. You can find out it is all constant, but there is the plastic flowage is there. Why this is happening? Because there is the material will be there in the plastic deformation, and there will be ductility has been taken place, and due to this moment has been taken place, and due to this the deformation which has been taken place, that has to be taken place. The length of the bedding plane decreases upward or downward. In case of such folding, anticline die upward and syncline downward. As you go upward, anticline gone. As you go down, syncline going to down. That is the sharp edges gone down. That will be there. So it is called as open, parallel, or concentric type of fold. Yes, you can see the open type of fold diagram is there. You can see the same one, same diagram. Yes, you can make out the enlargement, same one fold. So here the same one, stigmatic folding. This is normally you're going to get this type of folding in the metamorphic rocks. Stigmatic folds are irregular, isolated fold structure. These are the isolated fold structures are there associated with the rock whose layer has strongly contrasting competencies. Yes, there will be different competencies will be there, and stigmatic folding you're going to see. Next one, close, tight, or similar fold. Close, tight, or similar fold. You can see with this diagram itself. You can see the trough part, crust part. Yes, the thickness is uniform as if you make out. But what is happening? The thickness which is there on the sides, it is go on decreasing. Yes, in this fold beds are thicker at the crust and trough and thinner at the limbs. This is the thinner at the limbs. This is a very interesting. Close and open. You can get this difference which will be there. The length of the bedding plane remains same. The length which is there, it is remain same. The require sufficient intense deformation to cause plastic flowage for more mobile belt, resulting into thickening and thinning of the bed. So whatever the force which is applied in that, the plastic deform the material which is there, it has to be behaved plastically. Deformation has to be taken place. Such folding theoretically persists to a great depth. They have been present up to the great depth as per the theoretical one, but as we are going to make out the practically how much it is there, we have to find out. Yes, you can see the same diagrams, the anticline similar fold which is we have been made, disharmonic fold. So this changes when you're going to start from the top. If you're going on the bottom in the deep, you'll find out there will be changes in the fold. You're going to get the different types of fold. Say example, on the surface you're going to get the symmetrical fold, but as you go down and down you'll find out the symmetrical fold will become asymmetrical fold. Asymmetrical fold will turn into overturn. Overturn fold will become the recommend fold. So there will be change is going to take place as you go on the depth. So that is there. That is the first very important one about the disharmonic fold. That is, the symmetrical fold may change over turn at the greater depth, or ultimately if it is become the horizontal, then you are going to get the recommend fold also. They are going to get in the great cliffs of Alps and Himalayas. We are going to get this one, and after the drilling data, and folding may vanish at the depth. That is very important. Once you get this one horizontal, we are not going to get, we don't going to find any fold. So depth wise, if you go, it is going to vanish. So this is the disharmonic folding which is going to see now. The last one, supra-tenuous fold in this category. Supra means above, tenuous means thin. If you see above this one, when it is pressure is there exerted on the cap, we'll find out thickness will be less. But as you go towards the periphery, thickness will be more. It is like a salt dome. It is like a dipier like a fold, but it is a supratenuous fold. A fold which shows thinning or formation upward the crust of fold is termed as supratenuous fold. This fold develop if folding and sedimentation are contemporaneous, means continuous one. Sedimentation are let down at the same time, they get folded into anticline and syncline. When both our processes are going in hand, then such types of things are going to happen. The strata are thinnest at the crust and the anticline because it was rising during the sedimentation, and the thickest will are going to make out in here. The material will be deposited more on that side, so syncline will be going to form. So sinking is also been taking place on the sides. Number 8 parameters, the orientation of the axial plane. On how this axial plane is oriented, on the basis of that we have upright, incline, recline, overturn, recommend, open, again the tight fold. So close and open fold are again coming in this category also. So upright fold, incline fold, recline fold, overturn fold, recommend fold, open fold, tight fold. Whenever you want to prepare all these parameter, one write down on a paper and stuck at the wherever you have been sitting, wherever you have been reading room is there on the wall. Whenever you have the free time, just go through this one so that you can remember the name and remember the sequence and ask your friends one or two times. You'll get the sequences. You have to make something to remember this sequence properly. Upright, incline, recline, incline, recline, upright, overturn, recommend, open, tight. So this is the way anything, any possibilities you have to make out, and you have to be remember the whatever the fold which are coming under this category. Upright fold. In this, the fold horizontal fold axis with vertical axial plane. Here the vertical axial plane is there and fold axis is the horizontal. So this will be called as the upright one. In this, the fold horizontal fold axis. Horizontal is the fold axis. Then it is called as upright fold. Means it is standing properly. The fold is standing properly. Incline fold, when the axis makes an incline. So plus the fold will be the incline fold. Recline fold. Fold have the fold axis plunging down the deep of axial plane. So overturn fold. It is the fold in which the axial plane is much inclined. Both the limbs deeping generally at different angle. If you draw the axial plane, we'll find out these limbs are deeping different angles. Limbs, the normal limbs, the same limb at a different angle, but in the same direction. They are going in the same direction, but they are the different angle is there. One limb is the normal position, while the other one is the overturn position, incline or reverse position. This is the inversion of the beds. You can see here now how this is recline has been taken place. The reverse limb appears to have been rotated through 90-degree, and now all these are more or less parallel together axial planes. As you can see here, these have been shown properly. Yes, the diagram is also been shown. The next is the recommend fold. Now in this recommend fold, what is happening? On the surface, we have the axial plane is horizontal, but as you go deeper, the axial plane instead of the horizontal, it is become the vertical. So there is a change in the nature of the axial plane. As you go down, the axial plane will be changed from horizontal to vertical. The axis, the fold with the axial plane essentially horizontal. The limbs are always generally horizontal. One limb is reverse, yes, completely reverse and thinner, and a normal limb is thicker. Normal limb is the thicker one on this top, and it is thinner on the inverse type. But as you go down, that will be the axial plane will be vertical. So here we can see now here that will be shown. Yes, here we got the digitization. Yes, this is called as digitization. Crystallization is there, sedimentary rock is there. This is a crystalline material will be present. This is called as a root. Yes, this is what we have. The root or root zone will be called. the place where recombinant fold originate, it is called as root or root zone, and the curved portion of the fold between the normal and the reverse is called as arch bend. This is what we have, the arch bend. This is the arch bend will be there. Is already we have seen the open, parallel and concentric. No need to again repeat. Same slide I have been shown here. Again this one close we have seen the same one slide. Nothing has been changed. Now number 9, based on the shape of hinge line. So on the based on the shape of the hinge line, we are going to have here rounded hinge or broad hinge. So here on the top, rounded hinge or a very broad hinge is there. Then chevron, sharp edges, cling one, then arrowhead fold, cusped fold. So these are the 5 different types of folds based on the shape of hinge. Rounded hinge or broad hinge fold, chevron fold, king fold, arrowhead fold, and cusped fold. That is based on the shape of the hinge, how they have been arranged. Yes, rounded or hinge or broad. I could not get the diagram. I don't have the photograph also, so I could not show you. But you can assume now this is a broad one, a fold with a broad hinge zone compared to the limb. Chevron fold, everyone know, anticline and syncline. Wherever we have the sharp edges are there. Yes, a sharp edges will be there. Angular sharp edges, crest and trough will be there. So that is the chevron one. It is normally found in argillaceous rock. Yes, yes, you can see now sharp edges are there. Any the four figures diagram. The next one, cling band. King bands are narrow bands. You can see here we have shown you a narrow bands, or here I shown you the narrow band. Yes, and in this middle here here we have the narrow band. And within this narrow band there is small few inches to few feet wide in the beds. Assume a deep, that is a steeper. Yes, as compared to the normal one. In this case, this is a steep one. You can see now. This is a very clear one. Steep angle will be there of this one, and that will be called as king band. And this is a one band is there. And king bands will be formed in a zone within the bed and or in a foliation they are there. Geological material has an anisotropy developed by the bedding plane. This is the anisotropy is formed by the bedding plane. So in this we are going to make out. Again we'll have this portion of band will be there. It is shown a zone will be there. In that steep deeping will be there. So that is the king will be have the folds. Can see now arrowhead fold. Here similarly the like a chevron sharp angular one, but here it is find out it is not a wavy, it is a wavy like a pattern is there. Curvy limbs are there. Here we have the curvy. So then it is called as arrowhead folds. Curvy linear is there. Limbs, they are not a straight one. And cusped fold, we'll see the rounded one. Yes, they are the sharp hinge or other rounded one. Sharp, yes, the what we have is the syncline. They are the sharp one, and other one crust is the rounded one. So this is called as cusped folds. Now next parameter based on the number of hinges, number of hinge line, whether single hinge or multiple hinge. So these are the based on the hinge. So you can single hinge. Yes, here we have a simple fold. Yes, I have drawn a single fold. Now here you can find out this is one, this is two. This will be one here and this will be two. So there will be multiple one is there. So that will be there. And the second one you can see now box. Sorry. Yes, this diagram is for the box fold. Here it is a box like a structure. Yes, this will be a box like structure. I could not complete the diagram. So to make the it is incomplete, but this block will be a huge box like a structure. The upper side horizontal, other one is a horizontal or slightly inclined. So that will be there. So that is the box type. Next one, based on the geometrical relation among the neighboring structures, how the neighboring structure which is there, and in that periodical fold. So a train of a fold, a wave like a pattern, and a same pattern. There is no alternate change. A simple wave like a pattern, anticline, syncline is there. So it is called as periodic one. Repeatedly, the same height and the length or wavelength will be there on that particular fold. Whether you can see that between the distance between anticline or syncline or crust trough, that will remain same. Geometrically it will be remain same. But when it is a non-periodic, there will be change in the fluctuation is there, then it is called as non-periodic fold. So this is the non-periodic one. Based on geometric relation among the neighbor, again you can see in the how they are the neighbors which are there. The polyclinical folds belongs to a group of fold with subparallel hinge line. With the subparallel hinge line will be there. In this we are going to make out. So that will be called as the polyclinical. And disharmonic, as you find out, there will be changes which are going to make out in that. Then unechelon fold, that is the one, that is the steeping overlapping will be there. The direction of these forces is changed and there will be overlapping, and due to this overlapping we got unechelon folds. Then the fan folds, meandering like a shape is there. How the rear river is flowing, balloon shape, and as you come towards the anticline or syncline towards that side, the limbs are coming closer. Again, they move out. So that is the exactly a funnel shape. If you make go reverse, balloon make reverse and all that. So that is the fan fold. Yes, that is the simplest one. Meandering shape will be there. Yes, again based on the geometrical one, you can have the box fold. You can see perfect one. Box fold will be there, and these are the actual trace will be there of that. Conjugate fold, a double hinge fold. This is one and this is a two. So this one and this. So two hinges will be there. So that is the conjugate fold. King fold we have already seen. Again here a V shape will be there. A band will be going to form. A V shape structure will be there. Then parasitic and subsidiary fold will be there. A smaller fold called as parasitic. Yes, within the major fold, a small parasites will be there. So that is the secondary folding will be there. So that will be called as parasitic one, or subsidiary will be there. So these are the 10 different parameters: sense of culture, curvature, direction of youngling, that is the facing relative to sense of fold, closure, symmetry of fold, nature of hinge line, plunge of its fold axis, the interlimb angle, the thickness of the fold, the orientation of the axial plane, and the shape of the hinge line and the miscellaneous fold. So this geometrical classification I try to make the simplified. I hope you like this video. If you like the video, kindly press the button, share my video in your groups, and subscribe my channel, and write down your comments. How you like the video, what are the lacunas are there, what are the impressive things are there. You can impress so that I can changes and I may make the new videos on your feedback. I can changes make in that. Thank you. Have a nice day.